The milling of the coarse homespun cloth, as in the old days, is repeated even today on occasion when friends gather for an old-time milling frolic to the lilt of Gaelic songs.
Hello, Kimada Hashif. Is Misha Connell nach Richard I Cawastad Rewan I Crunel I Awastad Walkin Beck. I'm Connell McKinnon, agus Sanju, Hami a Cawastan I Gaelic, Hami Dawa Hekish Gaiv Root Beckman, Orain Wuwai. I'm at the Gaelic College today and I'm teaching you guys a little bit about the milling tradition and milling songs here in Cape Breton. I'm seated here at Gumboart Wuwag at the milling table and I have my blanket in front of me. And a milling frolic is a form of communal labor, and it's the last step in the process of making our blankets and our clothing for the year. So traditionally, we would be milling at the end of harvest season, and it's quite a laborious process. So instead of undertaking that as a family or one person, we get everyone together and make a community go of it. The milling tradition is not only a task of labor, but it was kind of a ceilidh and a get-together and a party. Everyone had taken in their crops and kind of shutting things down, getting ready for the winter. So it was a good way to have one last blast of fun before the winter sets in. And everyone would bring their cloth that was just off the loom and we'd mill it together around the table. The process of milling, you need to wet the cloth. It's kind of loose when it comes off the loom, and we would sew it into a circle and seated around the table, we pound it wet off the milling board or the milling table, and that felts it and gets the cloth more waterproof and able to be made into blankets and clothing. And we'd make a pretty fun night out of it, and there would be matchmaking, and there might be a drink or two, and a fiddler might be there, and a dancer in the other room. So you'd have your seat at the milling table, and you'd sing a few songs, and you might go into the other room and have a meal. And now that we no longer have to mill, or we're not making our own cloth as much anymore, we continue the tradition, and it's used as a way to share songs and to share language and just an intergenerational transmission in communities. So there's still milling frolics to this day in communities like Johnstown, Christmas Island, different communities around Cape Breton. And it's just a great way to get together at the end of the harvest season and have a bit of fun and have a laugh and share some songs and stories and to meet with elders and just share the language and tradition. Some of these songs share women's perspectives. In the old country, milling was quite often women's work, and when it came to the New World, you start hearing songs about hunting and sailing and things like this when the men started joining in on the milling table. One song I'll give you an example of is Mary Woodach, My Lovely Mary, and it's a song composed by Callum Gillis from Southwest Margaree, and it's a story from the Iona area of a fella that was working closely with a woman from Mabu, and she had to leave to the States, and they were kind of set to be married, but she had to leave, and he kind of went through some betrayal through a friend, and they never ended up getting together, but Callum heard this story and composed a song about it. We'll try that one. I horo mo veri woodach, stulich loom and gachum found. Smuatach me asta yesa hamochria, jairach traum. Nuada hunik me erusu vato natter mur nach loom. Hoerum boys and nuad minchin leto chorug, kinchach kiun. I horo mo veri woodach, stulich loom and gachum found. Smuatach me asta yesa hamochria, jairach traum. Ni and down a Howie in crewy, cook me girl gutes me och. G'day to you, shin moch, harshin chum, shin gun bin drast the past. Iaro mo very woodach, stulich loom and gachum found. Smuatach me asta yesa hamochria, jairach traum. Sound and Jewish let go verach, go of my linen goach woam. Skitta haum Boston rioch strika, he me usnam huin. Ihoro mo very woodach, stulich loom and gachum found. Smuatach me asta yesa hamochria, jairach traum. Shoak of Pius Beck yen Oren. That was just a small piece of the song, but good example of the milling tradition here in Cape Breton.
For me, Mabou has always been pretty magical. You know, landscape, people, the music, the way of life. There really is something special and genuine about this place. Mabou always seems to be ready to give you its heart. Here at Bain Babu, you have a chance to be part of a movement, drawing on our roots to reimagine our future. Stand out from the crowd, invest in yourself. Live in community, learn in community. Here, you'll find a place that welcomes you, where the wisdom of the culture nourishes you. Honestly, if I try to imagine the perfect place to go to university, this is it. In Mabou, where culture lives.
From June 30th to July 8th, all over Cape Breton Island, Kitchen Fest is back and we are celebrating year 10. It's happening over 9 days, in 33 venues, with over 150 performers, and you're invited to kick off the summer season with us. Concerts and ceilidhs, pub nights, and square dances. Cape Breton welcomes you to the island-wide kitchen party. For full festival details, you can visit kitchenfest.ca.
Falcha. Yep. Falcha, welcome to this week's Wednesday Night Ceilidh. We're pleased to have you here, and welcome to the Gaelic College. My name is Ben Smith, and I'll be your host here tonight. We're in for a great one. We got some great musicians here, and lots of talent, and we're going to have some toe-tapping tunes and songs, and it's going to be a great time. And you can see Barbie in the back. She has pop, soda, tea, coffee, alcohol beverages, and her famous oatcakes. So you can see her in the back too if you're interested for that stuff. So we're going to get right into it. We have our first act, our first performers need no introduction. Howie McDonald is a legend and a beast on the fiddle. A beast. And yeah, so it's going to be great to hear some tunes. So give it up for Howie, and also Beverly. Beverly's also a fantastic piano and fiddle player. Beverly MacLean and Howie McDonald. Give it up for them.
Thank you, Ben. Gentle Ben. There was a show on TV when I was, in the 60s, Gentle Ben. Well, it's not that long time. That's not that long ago, Beverly. Thank you. We're going to start off with Jimmy McKinnon of Smelt Brook by Winston Fitzgerald and the Tea Gardens Jig. And we're going to drive her. The key of G. It's black and white. TV show. Oh. Torture. another tune in there. It was the English jig that Mike McDougall used to play. And I think the last one made by Jerry Holland, and it was it Gabe Arsenal's jig maybe, something like that. And now we're going to play an old tune called the Tweed Side Lasses, probably about 200 years old. Beautiful tune. And Carl Mackenzie recorded on his first record. But it's a very old tune, and we're going to go into a Strasbourg 2 after that, and see where we end up. Hope you like. actually got a request last night from Texas, and Michael Skur, he plays fiddle. Anyway, I think he's coming up to Cape Breton. So, Mike, I'm going to play you this tune. He wanted to hear Silver Wells from the key of F, and another oldie, but a goodie. And maybe we'll just jump into some reels after that. Okay, let's go. Let's try that. I don't know.
Faded Love.
What is it?
Faded Love?
Faded Love?
Yeah.
And speaking of Texas, Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. We're going to do Faded Love in D. Here we go. Or do you want to introduce them yourself, Ben? You look like you're all ready to go, and really, I don't know Buddy that well, so I'm going to let you introduce him, because I haven't known him for the last 50 years, so. Where's he from?
What's your name?
My name is Buddy. Okay, Buddy.
Well, that was great. Yeah, great stuff. Give a hand for Howie and Beverly. So yeah, do we have visitors here? Where's everyone from? Do we have
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. California. Wow. Texas. Vancouver. Wow, we have people from all over.
New York.
New York. Ontario.
Adirondack.
Adirondack?
Say it again.
Adirondack?
Oh no, Adirondacks.
Adirondacks.
There you go.
Nice.
Like the chair.
Wow. Well, we're so glad that you came and visited us, and thanks for coming out tonight. We have lots of stuff happening this summer at the college. The Kitchen Fest is from June 30th to July 8th. And if you haven't already, you can check out the schedule on kitchenfest.ca. There's lots of great ceilidhs and concerts all over the island, and it's definitely a highlight of my summer, and it's a great way to kick off the summer. Then we have the summer youth camps and adult sessions. That's happening in July and August. And yeah, recently, so we have this new university program that the Gaelic College has partnered with CBU, and we're offering a foundational program, and we focus on Gaelic culture and traditions. And recently we got a $1 million donation from Joe Shannon and his family. So we were able to offer some really great scholarships up to $10,000 to whoever wants it, whoever wants to apply. So it's a really great new university program. It's located in Mabu. You can visit bainvabu.ca, and we have information on that. But the scholarship deadline is tomorrow at midnight, so it's kind of last minute. But if you know anyone interested, or yeah. So, anyways. So next up, we'll have Buddy McDonald sing us some lovely songs. Buddy is also a legend, and he's a great singer-songwriter. So, give a hand for Buddy McDonald.
Thank you. A legend, but not a beast, apparently. So let's hear it again for Howie and Beverly. What a great set. And I didn't realize that this is sort of live to the world, is it? Like a live feed? You can do that. Doesn't matter to me.
You need the beautiful people on the internet to see you.
Yeah, well, I just realized that the internet thing was happening, and I was wondering about Howie. He said, I was talking to this guy from Texas last night, and said his name. I'm playing this for you. I was thinking, geez, he got up here pretty fast. Do we have people here from Texas? Oh, welcome. Just reminds me, I met two couples from Texas last week who were just touring through, and said there's an awful lot of jokes told about Cape Breton and Newfoundland, isn't there? They were quite amazed at the humor that was thrown our way. So I said, well, I'll tell you. I said, speaking of Newfoundland and speaking of Texas, I said a few years ago, this rancher from Texas was up. We're up visiting this part of Canada, and they went to Newfoundland. They're driving around and saw an older gentleman at the driveway of his home, and they decided, oh, we'll get some either stories or laughter out of this guy. So they came up to him and introduced themselves, and he said, what have you lived here all your life? And the guy said, yep, never moved. And he said, so you live here all the time, in this isolation? And he said, yeah. He said, what do you do? He said, oh, I have a ranch, I have a farm. The rancher's ears perked up, and he said, oh, really? He said, how big a farm do you have? Oh, he said, it's big. He said, I probably have 8 or 10 acres. And the Texan looked at him and he said, 8 or 10 acres? Well, he said, I'm going to tell you. I haven't got my Texas accent down, but he said, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I jump in my old pickup truck, and I drive the perimeter of my farm, my ranch. And at 6 o'clock that evening, I finally get back to my house. Newfoundlander said, oh, I'm sorry, boy. I had an old truck like that one time, too. So welcome. I'm going to start with a song written by a great songwriter, the late and great Judd Strunk from Maine. Anybody here from the state of Maine? No? No maniacs. Wow. Oh, we have some down there? Cool. Well, this was written by Judd Strunk. Many years ago, Judd left us way too early at 30 or 35 years old and left us a wealth of songs, but one of them is a tune called A Daisy a Day. I know. And if anybody knows it and wants to sing along, please feel free. If you want to get up and dance, waltz around there, man, you can't hurt my feelings. Mr. Howie McDonald on piano, the beast. B flat for beast. He remembers the first time he met her. He remembers the first thing she said. He remembers the fun and the teasing, and the night that she came to his bed. He remembers her sweet way of saying, oh honey, is something gone wrong? He remembers the fun and the teasing, and the reason that he wrote her this song. I'll give you a daisy, a day, dear. Anybody? I'll give you a daisy, a day, for I love you until the river runs still, and the four winds we know blow away. Well, he walks down the street in the evening. For years I would watch them walk by. Their love, it was more than the clothes that they wore could be seen in the gleam of their eye. As a young child, they'd take me for candy. I loved to go tagging along. We'd hold hands and walk by the river, as the old man would sing her this song. Try it. I'll give you a daisy, a day, dear. Everybody. I'll give you a day, yeah. I'll love you until the river runs still, and the four winds we know blow away. Well, he walks down the street in the evening. He stops at the old candy store. Somehow I believe he is believing that he's holding her hand like before. For she feels all her love walking with him, and smiles at the things she might say. And the old man walks down by the river, and he throws her a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. I want to hear you guys sing it. I'll give you. Yeah. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. Thanks so much. Beautiful singing. Best we've heard tonight, Howie. It's great to, I'd like to thank the Gaelic College for the invite again. And yeah, it's nice to be here. Like I said earlier, it's nice to be anywhere, really. And, just for a while we were wondering. And it's also always great to hear Howie McDonald, and even greater to be able to sit alongside him. When he hasn't got the fiddle in his hand. Kidding. Howie and I go back a long way, man. We used to rob trains together. Gas stations. Didn't have a car, but she was tough on foot, man. It's a song about migration, leaving places like Cape Breton, east coast of Canada, and heading for the west. Anybody here from Alberta, for instance? Jesus, this is like playing in Alberta. You're playing Alberta. Is it anybody here from Alberta? Nobody. They're all from here. It's hilarious. But I've done a lot of playing out there, and played very, very posh places like Fort McMurray and Fox Creek. Whoa, makes me shiver just to say that word. And anyway, you're not out there very long playing or doing gigs. Every room is full. When you're from the East Coast, it doesn't matter if you play music or juggle oranges, or it doesn't matter. It's from the East Coast, let's get a piece of home. So I realized that, like I said, everybody that was there was from here. So many people migrated to Alberta, following the oil fields. Naturally so, looking for a good living so they could come back and retire on Cape Breton. So I wrote a song called Nobody Home. The official title of it is There Ain't Nobody Home. I was told by a retired school teacher one night not that long ago that it wasn't grammatically correct. And after I told her I hadn't written it for her, we got along fine. She left. I'm going to run the chorus a couple of times so you guys learn it. Please help me out. There ain't nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more, try it. There ain't nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home, be no rest. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. No tracks in the dust by the old front door. No voices ringing like they did before. They're fleeing the nest like eagles they soar. Nobody home no more. Leaving for a life of travel and toil. Drilling for the dreams in the western soil. Survival, they say, is fine and more oil. Nobody home no more, everybody. Ain't nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. No rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. Well, another day over there, slow to fly. And the sun goes down and the dreams go by. That sun would be brighter in my eastern sky. Wish I was going home. But there ain't nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. Ain't no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. No tracks in the dust by the old front door. No voices ringing like they did before. They're fleeing the nests like eagles they soar. Nobody home no more. Want to hear all the voices. There ain't nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home. Be no rest. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home. Let's put all the hands together. Ain't nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home. More hands. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. There ain't nobody home no more. Ain't nobody home. Yeah. Be no rest till they hit the west. Nobody home no more. Nobody home. What? Can't hear you. One more. Ain't nobody home. There ain't nobody. Nice job. Thanks very much. Do another one? Really? Where are you from, Ben?
My mom's family is from North Sydney. Dad's family's from English, but I grew up in the Caribbean.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah, whatever, Ben. Nice knowing you.
In the Caribbean.
I spent a week in the Caribbean one night. Believe me. Wow. Oh, that's cool. And here you are at the Gaelic College. St. Anne, that's wicked, man. Smith is your last name?
Yeah.
Strange name for this area. I was born and brought up in a small fishing village just 30 minutes from here if you're going north on the Cabot Trail. A little place called North Shore. As they used to say in Quebec, there's no shore like the North Shore, and that's for sure. Well, this is North Shore, Cape Breton. And it's still a very lucrative and successful fishing spot on the island. And I never fished because I wasn't that crazy about their hours. They get up in the morning. Couldn't believe it. My dad was a fisherman and all my people, but I always found it easier to still be up at 4 o'clock in the morning instead of getting up. It's highly overrated. But I did have a day job one time for a week and a half, I think. Anyway, growing up very, very close to the ocean, sometimes practically in the ocean. And it's funny, I was talking to a lady from Revelstoke, BC, and I just spent a couple of weeks out bumming around BC, and I have a daughter that lives in Kamloops, so I was staying with her and playing gigs and here and there. But I was in, what's the name of the place? Armstrong, near Vernon, I think it was. Quaint little place. And anyway, somebody in the audience said, "So you're on the East Coast. Are you anywhere close to the Atlantic Ocean?" And I was waiting for the punchline. And I said, "Yeah, pretty close." Sometimes the ocean comes right, sometimes right in the kitchen. Not that drastic, but. So they were very surprised. And they were from BC. I didn't get it, but. Anyway, it got me to thinking that night after she had spoke to me at the break time, and I started thinking of a night, and I can't remember the year. It was in the 70s sometime, like mid-70s. Kenny might remember it. There was a bad storm came through. All the boats, not all of them, but a lot of boats were lost. 74? Yeah. And I remember vividly being down, and I was only one. Seeing the boats just been battered against the wharf and coming ashore, and it was a ferocious night. And I remember sitting there thinking of, and there's nothing you can do. You just sit and watch the destruction. And all I could do was what I've always done, was write a song. I wrote a song called The Atlantic Sea Breeze. It's in the key of G, Howie. I don't know if you ever played this or not, but I'm not going to tell them. She's blowing hard today, wide on the bay, misty shrouding the sun. Shadows of morning begin a new day as the wind to our island sweeps on. And she sets the trees bending, a message she's sending. Sailors come home from the sea. Steadfast you may seem, my master this morn. Shed your oil skins, return to the key. In the Atlantic sea breeze, just a rough roll the old-timers say, but triumphant's your roar to me on the shore. To us all you had paid your own. There seems to be peace in the stiff morning breeze. Seems you've a tale for to tell. By your powers you've sent the great ships to their graves. Gently you've rung harbor bells. You bring joy and belief. You bring mystic relief to a day that seemed having no end. You've done your job well. I now bid adieu to a gentle but fearsome old friend. In the Atlantic sea breeze, just a rough roll the old-timers say, but triumphant's your roar to me on the shore. To us all you had paid your own way. Well, she's blowing hard today, wide on the bay, misty shrouding the sun. Shadows of morning begin a new day as the wind to our island sweeps on. And she sets the trees bending, a message she's sending. Sailors come home from the sea. Steadfast you may seem, my master this morn. Shed your oil skins, return to the key. In the Atlantic sea breeze, just a rough roll the old-timers say, but triumphant's your roar to me on the shore. To us all you had paid your own way. In the Atlantic sea breeze. Thanks so much. thank you very much. Okay?
Michael Kavanaugh on sound,
Keeping us in order here. Thanks, Howie.
Thanks, buddy.
My pleasure.
That was great, Buddy. Give it a hand for Buddy. It's always a treat to listen to Buddy sing. So great stuff. Do we have a couple here? Joan and Mark? Are they here? Where are you guys at? Right here. Wow. Well, happy 25th anniversary. Yeah, give it up. They actually, 25 years ago, they came here to celebrate their wedding. So it's so nice to have you guys back here, and we're so happy to celebrate with you guys here tonight. So thank you for coming out. So I'm gonna play a set now. Oh, true.
Yep. Yeah. Go right ahead. There you go.
I'll start off with a song called "My Love, Kate Brent and Me." It's a song, but I'll play it as a fiddle tune, and then I'll go into a tune called "Quarter Moon." That it's a Jerry Holland tune, but I actually learned it off of Howie. He has a recording on YouTube through Celtic Colors. Super nice version of it on YouTube, so if you want to check that out. But I learned it off of that. And then I'll go into Constitutional Breakdown, which is one of my grandfather's favorite tunes. So shout out to Melvin Piro, he's listening online tonight. Yeah. And then I'll go into Crossing the Minch, I think it is, Crossing the Minch. And then I'll finish it off with a Brenda Stubbard tune, Randy McClellan's. So, thanks. The first three are G, and then on the first two, but I'll give you one off. So yeah, we'll have Beverly and Howie back on the fiddle and the piano. So give it up for them.
Speaking of Cape Breton jokes, did you hear about the two Cape Bretoners who walked out of the bar? It could happen. Speaking of BC, buddy, two old fellas straggling home from a dance one night. And he said, this is just over here. One guy said, "Oh, what do you think is farther now? The moon or British Columbia?" The other fellow said, "Duh, can you see British Columbia from here?" Jigs here at F. First jig I wrote for Lorraine, that'd be Buddy McMaster's sister. And the second jig was written for Genevieve, Buddy McMaster's sister, by Dana MacDonald, 1952. Third jig is an old Winston jig, B flat, and we'll see what happens. Okay. We're all set. Joan and Mark had the anniversary? Yes? All I know is the 50th anniversary. I mean, the silver anniversary waltz. What? Oh, yeah, that's okay. You'll learn it. Anyway, we're going to play the silver anniversary waltz. And the first part's in G, second part's in C. And don't worry, this is not live. We were just kidding. I'm gonna write a tune. I'm gonna play a tune called Coilsfield House, another old tune, and a march after which I wrote for my sister Marilyn. We call her Mar, but anyway, so the big joke is it's called Mar's March. She used to be able to hum tunes in the crib, speaking of the Caribbean, before she could walk, before she could talk, she could hum tunes in the crib. And they'd be doing like Donnie Dougal tunes, my mother, the old marches. So anyway, I tried to put myself in that position. And I wrote a little tune for her. It's a march called Mar's March. And then the Strathspey, I think it's Caracas, or it's an old traditional G Strathspey. And then I made a tune for Bev, it's called One for Bev. And then Bev wrote a tune called The Nest, in a different key, A. And then Hilda wrote a tune for the Holland wedding in B minor. That's Jerry Holland's wedding. I think it was the third one, or the, not sure. And anyway, very nice tunes, and here we go.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
8:54.
8:54.
It is.
Fly by or what?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't care.
You played the G. Played an A?
Yeah.
But we just start with G and 3 and come back to G and 3.
After the maybe 30 minutes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I'm all.
You may not have to.
We're having a rehearsal. Everybody enjoyed themselves this evening? It's a lot of nights since I saw this room full, both sides. It's very cool. It's nice. Thanks for coming in. There's no door out. And somebody had asked me if any of us had CDs, and I have CDs. I have a few. And I don't know if Howie, do you have any CDs?
Nothing, no, nothing.
Why?
I just don't have any CDs and I'm not making any more.
I don't think I will either. I have like 19,000 left after COVID, so...
A million in your cellar?
Stompin' Tom used to say, I got a million cellar. A million in my cellar. Yeah, you got something to say there, Ben? I'm interrupting you here.
No, it's okay.
I just had to get in.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so thank you all for coming out tonight, and thanks for everyone listening online too. Next week we have Kimberly Fraser, Aaron Lewis, Hilda Chesson, and Michael Kavanagh. So it's gonna be a great Ceilidh next week, so if you're in the area, feel free to stop by.
First I'm hearing of it.
Are you going to come and hear that hacker, Michael, or what?
Yeah, and also we really do appreciate the people who donate every week. This keeps the Ceilidhs going every week, and it also helps support our educational programs. So there's a link on the live stream if you if you're up to donating, and we also accept donations in person too. But yeah, thank you for coming out tonight, and thanks to Beverly, Howie, and Buddy. It was a pleasure to play tunes with you guys. So yeah.
And again, I'd like to thank our film director down there, Ryan McDonald.
Oh yeah, Ryan McDonald, yeah.
And Michael Kavanagh on sound.
And also,
you can come back next week and hear on fiddle and guitar.
And also give a hand for Barbie back there with the okays and all the drinks. So.
Okay, we're going to end it off with a little slash of stuff here, right? Cool. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Because if nobody comes, it's really, really lonely doing these gigs. I've done it. You haven't lived until you played after hours at a penitentiary. I wasn't in there, but I played it. And they're all supposed to go back at 10 o'clock and you have your gig till 10:30. You haven't got the key. Anyway, I'm going to start out with a song I wrote 27 years ago, I think, 26 years ago. We're pretty young then, Howie.
I was. You were still old, buddy.
Older than a pile of dirt. There's a piper in the corner, there's a dancer on the floor, drink upon the table, they're calling out for more. There's Gaelic in the fiddle line, Gaelic in the glen. A song stick out new meaning boy, it's getting, if you don't sing it, it's getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark. There was tea and tunes this morning, or was it yesterday, when friends and fiddles gathered, friends and fiddles played. There was lots of those were the times, do you remember when? But that was chicks and reels ago. She's getting dark again, getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark. Well, if any of you are slighted that the deeds that now are done by the fellowship of music, the fantasy of fun, we'd like to say we're sorry, shed a tear for you, but then we haven't got the time right now. It's to put the hands together. It's getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark, getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark. The songs think I'm new, wee boy, it's getting dark.
From June 30th to July 8th, all over Cape Breton Island, Kitchen Fest is back, and we are celebrating year 10. It's happening over 9 days, in 33 venues with over 150 performers, and you're invited to kick off the summer season with us. Concerts and Ceilidhs, pub nights, and square dances. Cape Breton welcomes you to the island-wide kitchen party. For full festival details, you can visit kitchenfest.ca.